The Biden campaign's in deep trouble with black Americans, and they're blaming the media.
We're operating in an incredibly fractured and fragmented media environment, and you still have a lot of young voters in particular who have not yet tuned in to the presidential election. Some campaigns have done in the past to reach out to black voters, young black voters in particular, but using every tool at our disposal right now to do so. And frankly, despite what Trump and his team say, this is the only campaign that is actively and aggressively doing that.
The only thing Biden aggressively pursues DEI. Populate the administration with black faces, but punish black America with Bidenomics.
I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country. And starts at the top with the vice president. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man, the highest order, the first black Secretary of Defense. Because you voted, I was able to keep my commitment to appoint the first black woman on the United States Supreme Court. And I appointed more black women to the Federal Circuit Courts than every other president in American history combined. Every single president combined. They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history.
Black Americans care more about inflation, immigration, and crime than diversity, equity, and inclusion. Biden can't comprehend that. So he dusted off Kamala for the first time in months and held a joint campaign event at a black Philly charter school with Black Elmo. Philly's Elmo's claim to fame? Dancing in front of a dumpster fire. Fitting. Today was supposed to be Joe's big rally for black America. Instead, he failed to fill a kid's gym.
Trump is trying to make the country forget just how dark and unsettling things were when he was president. But we'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
Black, white, Hispanic, nobody can figure out what he's talking about. Except for The View, who thinks Trump's the one who has trouble with words.
The man is competent, alert, and doing the job. And it's not about his age. The other one is doddering and doesn't remember anything and can't put a sentence together and has like brain farts in the middle of a paragraph.
And now prominent black voices are backing away from Biden.
If I was President Joe Biden and, I was getting the backlash that I was getting from Morehouse students, I would have talked with them, not to them. I want to have a conversation with them, and I want to see what they're really frustrated about. I want to talk to them about the things that I know are bothering them. I think that would go way farther than what he did. And these kids are brilliant. Like, these kids, they care about actual issues.
This has been the left strategy for decades. Pander every 4 years, blame racism, and lie.
What do you think would have happened if black Americans had stormed the Capitol? I don't think he'd be talking about pardons. It's the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder.
Blexit activist Madeline Brame joins us now. So you were at the Bronx event with former President Trump.
Yes.
Why were you there?
I was there, number one, to speak, and also to get the crowd motivated.
Yeah?
All right? Yeah. It was electric. It was magical. It was some event.
So when you see Joe Biden out there saying this, that, and the other thing, does that sink in with black voters?
Just sitting here listening to that, I feel like vomiting. For the simple fact that it's so insulting and so racist for every other word to come out of his mouth. Black this, black that, black this, black that. Like, the only reason why we made these so-called accomplishments is because of the color of our skin. Has nothing to do with our intellect, has nothing to do with the merits of nothing. It's only because we're black that these things are happening. He is so insulting.
And he's saying that the reason you're being chosen to fill out his administration is because of the color of your skin.
Exactly. But it's not going to fly. It's not. It may fly with a certain segment of, the African American or poor minority community. We need to put that in perspective. Poor minority means black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish, Italian, all of us. That's the way I like to frame it, all right? I don't like to just pinpoint black people, all right, because it's insulting, all right, and it's disrespectful, and everything, you know, based on the color of our skin, you know. I don't think it's going to play with black people.
You're saying it's an economic argument that he should be making.
Absolutely.
And all he's talking about is patronage.
It's the color of our skin. You know, many of us work hard every day. And when Trump was in office, our paycheck would last us at least paycheck to paycheck. Right, and we still had a couple of dollars left over to save, maybe go on a vacation. We certainly didn't have to worry about not having food in our refrigerator. The same salary, the inflation has gone through the roof. A gallon of gas costs almost $5. I'm scared to even start my car in the morning because it's going to cost me $5 to start my car. All right.
Joe Biden says you have plenty of money.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
And you're spending it. He says you have plenty of money to spend.
There's no money to spend. There's money to pay rent. There's money to pay cell phone. There's money to pay your bills. There's no money left over, not even for food. You know, most of us are going to the food pantry, where as opposed to we used to be able to go to the grocery store. You know, a bag of food with nothing in the bag, maybe some toilet paper and paper towel costs almost $100.
You know, shrinkflation, you're getting less potato chips in your bag, so you got to buy two. All right, Madeline, thank you so much for joining Jesse Waters Prime Time.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Glad you didn't vomit on the set.
I almost did.